Okay, hi everybody. Do you remember me? My name's Amy from Amy J's Creations. Let's get started and just jump right in. I have been gone for quite a while. I filmed actually a couple of videos and they didn't get uploaded, and then they disappeared off my phone. When I went to go upload them, they were gone. And at one point I was like, maybe this is a sign I should just stop making videos. But, you know, we'll give it a go again. We'll see, right? I've always been sporadic. It's not like there's a whole bunch of people waiting on pins and needles for me to upload a video. So it's good for me. I enjoy it. We'll just go for it. I am trying a new filming setup where I've got my phone flipped around so the better camera is aimed towards me, and you should see the janky setup I have with this mirror to try to see what's going on in the camera. So if I act weird and like I'm not looking in the right spot, it's because I am all discombobulated. Okay, so, oh, now there's something in my eye. Lovely. All right, so let's just dive right in. When I last filmed, I don't even know what you saw, because the thing I filmed, the videos I filmed, I talked about stuff that you've never seen. Let's just do a live recap, shall we? Let's do that. I went to Kutzenhausen in October. That is a small town in the Alsace-Lorraine region. So it's that little area that was Germany, and then it was France, and then it was Germany, and then it was France, and now it's France. But it still has a German name. They have once a year, I'm sorry, there is something in my eye. They have once a year a huge cross-stitch display. It's like the whole town gets taken over, and all these French and some other European, but mostly, predominantly French, embroidery and cross-stitch designers come, and they have different sections of the town, different buildings that you can go in. They have tons and tons and tons of models, fully finished models. They are gorgeous. It was amazing. It takes place over 4 days, over a long weekend, and I got to go with some super awesome friends. If you live in Europe, whether you speak French or German or only English, go. It's not a thing that I could even handle going every year because it was so overwhelming and there's so much amount of awesome stuff. But every other year, you for sure want to go. And you want to go for more than one day because it runs Thursday through Sunday. We got there Thursday night. We went Friday most of the day. We went Saturday most of the day. And Sunday, as we were leaving, some of us also stopped by real quick to get a few things that we had been thinking about getting and we weren't sure, and then we decided, oh yes, we definitely need these. I'm just making sure this is recording. Yes, it is. Okay. I got a ton of stuff there. I showed it in a video that is gone. I will just say it was awesome. It was amazing, and you guys should definitely go. Then the next month we went to Zweigart, a meetup organized by Stitchy Mama and Evie and Sabrina, who do not have Flosstube channels. That was great. We stitched all day on Saturday at Zweigart and did some shopping, or on Friday, all day Friday. Saturday they did more stuff, but I needed to get home because I was leaving the next Monday to go on vacation. I know I have a hard life. I went to Cardiff with my husband and saw the Coors in concert. That was amazing. Kind of a early anniversary celebration. Stayed in some amazing hotels all over Wales. It was, I love that country. It's gorgeous. And let's see, then came back from Wales, and then it was like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I'll show you quickly, well, at Hall, I'll show you what I got at Zweigart. But for now, just know a lot happened. I got to meet up with Stitchy people several times. And even since then, just a couple weeks ago, it was 2 Saturdays? 2 Saturdays ago. Met up with Swiss cross stitchers in Vinter Tour. That was amazing. Spent the whole day with them. Everybody kind of brought, we had like a little potluck lunch and we just sat and stitched and chit-chatted. We went to a thrift store, a couple thrift stores, found some good stuff. It's really fun to hang out and spend time with stitchy friends. It's really, really fun. And I'm very happy that I found some people because I have been cross-stitching by myself in Switzerland for over 20 years. And so to finally find people who are doing it and want to meet up and want to hang out with me is indescribable magic. You only know if you've also been lonely for a while. And finally, you have somebody who gets it and gets you and is crazy about it as much as you are. So I guess that's my quick recap. I went also in September to Cologne with my son. I think I talked about that already. Not sure. That was amazing. Which is why I couldn't go to Stitch Basel. So, okay. So what I've been working on this whole time that I've been doing all these fun adventures. Well, for my son, I had my big Lord of the Rings piece that I have been working on. Van Gogh Never Met the Fellowship is what it's called, by Unconventional Cross Stitch, X-Stitch. And I pretty much was decided that was going to be my main focus. And I worked and worked and worked on it for quite a while. And then I kind of got burned out. And so I worked on some Christmas stuff. And I'll show you those things. And then I was like, okay, you've got 1 year left. This has to be your focus. You can do nothing but cross stitch on this thing because you've been working on it off and on intermittently for like 8 months. And I was at 14% still. I think it was even like 13%. It was ridiculous. And I was like, you are never going to get this done. I was figuring out in the calculator, like how many stitches per day I would have to do to finish it within 1 year. And it was over 600, which is doable if I only do cross stitch or if I do big blocks of color. Or, I mean, if I only cross stitch the whole day or have big blocks of color. But this has some blocks of color and a lot of confetti. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I was determined to get it done. And so I worked and worked and worked on it. And you will see, let me show you this. Let me see if I can back up. What I decided is I was going to start working on the 939, which is the main color in the piece. And if I finished that and then went to the 3865, which is the white, I would be able to then work on the confetti areas and maybe even have a chance. Like I could finish these big blocks of color. I was working, and I really whittled it down. I did almost like 15,000 stitches or something in just about 5 weeks. Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. So that I was happy with that. But I was still like, that call to do some of my other projects was calling me, but I was like, no girl, you gotta stick on this. And I will say, look at that. You can see the mountain outlines, right? The mountain ridges. And I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start working on the shadows, the outlines of the Fellowship. That is coming in like right in here, and it goes across. Yeah, so I'm making some really good progress. Really awesome progress. I'm very pleased with it. I hope you could actually see everything. Maybe if I hold it up a little closer, like you can see, like right here is the most done. And then I've really just been like picking a color and I was following it across. There's one color that's like almost completely done. But then there were a lot where it was like just a few stitches way down below and I didn't want to count that far. So again, it kind of makes sense to work on these darker areas, right? But see those mountains right there? Yeah, you can see those mountains right there. All right. And then last Sunday, my son started his first day of his last year of school. which is, again, why I want to have this thing finished by the time he's done as his completion present. And he says to me, I was like, okay, so in 1 year you'll be done? And he goes, no, Mom, I don't know why. Why do you think it's 1 year? It's a 4-semester program. 2 years. 2 years? You're telling me I thought I only had 1 year and I have 2 years to get this done? And really it's not 2 years because he'll be done in mid-December and it's February. But like 22 months when I thought I had 10 months? People, I don't know if I can describe to you the weight that lifted from my shoulders. The angel chorus I literally heard in my head singing, "Ah, you are free, you are free." I have so much time. I have made so much progress on this thing. And oh my gosh, I can finish this and do other stuff. Oh my gosh. So I immediately was like, all right, it's almost Valentine's. It was like the day after Valentine's Day, actually, the weekend. And I was so excited. I pulled out my Valentine start that I worked on last year and worked on it for the next 3 days and finished it and fully finished it. Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know how happy this made me. I was willing to ignore all my other projects and just work on that. But the fact that I don't have to, and then I can just enjoy it and savor this instead of feverishly working. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is this? You may recognize several of these are some freebie Shannon Christine designs that came out 2 years ago. And I have a display that's permanently up there. It's a beautiful piece of stained old wood. And I have attached magnets to it. And it is where I have put all the Lizzie Kate strings, right? So like Christmas Mary string, the Easter string, the summer one, not the busy bee one, but the summery one with like patriotic stuff in it. But there's no Valentine's one. And I know there's those like tiny towns, but this slightly different. And I didn't want just like a whole town. I liked the strings that were the alphabets. And I almost tried to make my own Valentine alphabet, but I am no designer. No, that was not fun, and it was not going to look the way I wanted it to. So I set that aside, and then I saw all these Shannon Christine designs, and I was like, I wonder if I could just do those in a row and make a little thing. So I started with this one, and this one, and this one, and then I realized there was only 2 more, and it was not going to be long enough. And I was like, you're going to need to come up with another few. So I scoured around on Pinterest and I found this little wreath. I cannot find who designed it. There's no name, no credit given. So I made that, and it was also about the same width. And then this is from Emily Call. When it came out, she was still called Salt and Pepper Stitching. It was a freebie that she did. But now it's Emily Call Designs. And I changed the colors to use all the other colors that were in the Shannon Christine designs because they all use the same color palette. And there's like a little thing over here that said love, but I left that off because that made it too big. I didn't need that. I just wanted the cute heart with the little baby hearts. And then I finished it up with these 2 things. And then I fully finished it. And I love how it turned out. One, I love the fact that I have a fabric store in my house. And so I had several different pieces of pink fabric and reddish fabrics that I pulled out and auditioned. And then I had several different kinds of trim and rickrack. And I consulted with my daughter. And we both decided that the red just made everything pop and stand out and was perfect. And so now I have this finished in time to pack up with my other Valentine's Day decorations that I just packed up today. And that's done. Oh, that's so fun. So then, I worked on a few other projects. Well, one of the things that I worked on during Christmas that I felt guilty about doing, because I needed to be working on this thing the whole time, but I was like, I want to do something Christmassy, was this little nativity scene. Look at that. I've decided I want a whole bunch of nativity scenes. Oh, hello. This right here is 32 count oaken from Shepherd's Bush, and I got it as a piece from my friend Sarah, Redneck Bifocal Stitcher, when I met her in real life at Stitch West. She was getting rid of, she had brought a bunch of stuff for the freebie table, but before she put it on the freebie table, she gave everybody that was sitting at our table first crack at it. And so I took this, and I love that my Love Valentine's piece is on a piece of fabric from my friend Sarah. It just, talk about being a dream come true. I had been talking to some of these people online for so long, and didn't think I would ever get to meet them in person. And then there were even more people like Sarah who had been watching me and I didn't know about. She started her YouTube channel after that, which is awesome, by the way. And it's like one of those things where the entire weekend I kept pinching myself like, is this really happening? So anyway, the fact that this fabric is filled with so many memories of a lovely weekend with loving, kind people is just chef's kiss. All right. This is on 18 count Easy Grid Aida from, I ordered it on 123 Stitch actually, because we did not have a trip planned at Zweigart and I want to just get it started right away. So I ordered it from 123 Stitch, which has the best customer service if you are in Europe. Such fast shipping. All right, so then there's this that now back to our regularly scheduled part of the program. So this is this cute, adorable little nativity scene. This is on a 32 count Grandma's Slip from XU Designs, who is a personal friend. Met her at Stitch Basel. Her and her team, Tibor, Timea, and Maya from Snowflower Diaries and Vintage Tulip Designs, are the most awesome people, and I will go to Hungary with a group of people and hang out with them. It will happen. They are so awesome. So I have this whole big piece of Grandma's Slip that I want to do a whole bunch of different nativities on, and this is the first one. I changed most of the colors. This pattern, I have, hold on just a second. I saved the piece of paper this whole time so that I could come over here with my whips so that I could talk to you guys about it, and then forgot to get it when I started to film because, you know, I'm out of practice, but it's cool. This pattern is called Christmas is for Children. It was designed by, I wrote it down, not on this piece of paper. Susan Bates. It was designed by Susan Bates. It was originally in a book. And this was back when I was a naughty girl, way back in the 90s. I checked out this book out of the library and photocopied this design and the pattern out of the library book. Maybe you think that's evil. I don't know. I figured it was already in the library and it was fine. But anyway, I changed some of the colors because it was very much a 90s pattern. It was originally supposed to have like this whole archway around it, but that's not what I want to do. So I changed it, and it's definitely, the back stitch is a callback to the 90s, but I love a good back stitch. I think it makes the whole thing. My idea is to have a whole bunch of these and then finish them as flat folds and some stand-ups and just have a whole nativity scene of nativity scenes is basically my idea. So that was the finish. Also, during Christmas, I needed to make a little ornament for an ornament exchange at our church. And so I found some cute little itty bitty gingerbread men and quickly stitched those up and gave it to her, and that's finished. And then I decided that I wanted to make some maybe gingerbread men pillows. So I grabbed, these are literally no name flosses. This is like a 10 or a 9 count Aida. And I got started, I finished, well, they still need their eyeballs. I'm going to give them some little bead eyes. I finished 2 and started 2 more. Ran out of this kind of floss and needed to switch to this. But then again, started feeling guilty and went back to working on the Van Gogh piece. So those 2 of them are done mostly, and I will finish the other 2 next Christmas season and turn those into little gingerbread pillows. So that's kind of a whip, but shows what I was working on. All right. So then, I'm kind of jumping all around in time. I'm sorry, I'm like one of those annoying movies where you go back and forth, time jumps. But so much has happened. It's too hard to keep track of. All right. So then, one of the other things I worked on during the Christmas season, I guess that's not so bad. I'm talking about the Christmas season, is this prairie schooler. Now, I have done a whole bunch of them for the years when my husband and I got married and for the years of all my children were born. But now I wanted to do the ones that I could find that were like crafty related. So I quilt, so the fact that there's a quilter was perfect. And he's got like his little cross stitch thing. I really like that. So I have this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to redo the one that has the other big hoop that says Merry Christmas on it. I stitched that for my son. I believe it's like 2004. I don't know if I'm going to restitch that one or not for my own tree, maybe. I still have the pattern. We'll see. But I stitched this one during Christmas time as well. Worked on it a little bit here and there and got that one all finished. Well then, just in the past 2 days, because I had finished that Valentine's and I was still riding that high of not having to hurry and finish this other project for my son within 10 months and instead of 22 months, I started working on the other Prairie Schooler Santa that I had started during Christmas. And I had gotten just a little start and now he is finished as well. And this is the one, I can't remember what year he is, and I have the pattern, but it's over there. I'm not going to get it. Anyway, this is the one where he's got the like knitted stockings. And I really like that. We have, all my children and I and my husband, have the most beautiful knitted stockings from my sister-in-law, Kathy. And they are my greatest treasure. And I feel bad that when my children, like 2 of them have left the house, and they did not get their stocking. Their stockings stay with me. I cannot recreate them because I cannot knit. But if our Christmas tree ever caught on fire because it was dried out, I would yell at my children to get themselves out while I save the stockings. That's how much they mean to me. I love these stockings. So I love, even though I don't knit, somebody knit them. And so I like that Santa that was commemorating the awesome knitting skills of all knitters, but especially my sister-in-law. So there's that one that I finished. So I have several finishes when I thought I was not going to have anything but one giant finish at the end of the year. I am so happy. Okay, did I have any other whips? Well, yeah. I mean, it's been like, 4 months? On the 25th of every month, I work on, what is this called again? Cherry Garden by Twin Peak Primitives. It's supposed to be like the New Year's or leap year, and I'm doing it on the 25th of the month because that's when my brother David was born, was on the 25th of February. So that's coming up to remember because today is the 21st of February. So I have worked on that for a few times, and that's how it's looking. And I really like this idea of 1 day a month. I am positive I will get this done in the 4 years, but there's no stress. Some 25ths, I have a lot of time. Some 25ths, I don't have as much time. but it's getting done. It's, I'm making progress. As you can see there, I just stop where I work until the day is done, and I just stop wherever. I did change on this. This is also I want to say this is a 32 count. It might be a 36, but I don't know. It's from Zweigart. It is not an even weave. It's a linen. It's a pale, pale green. I don't know if that's coming across. It's a beautiful pale green. And I'm using all the called for DMC colors from Twin Peak Primitives, except this right here, all of this, was supposed to be in this brown that the dogs are in, okay? I changed it to this gorgeous, gorgeous, variegated, subtly variegated purple from Color Fever, my friend Francisca. Color Fever on Etsy. I love it, and purple is one of my favorite colors, and it's a nice, dark, subtle tone. So it's a good replacement for that dark brown, but not a boring brown. It's a beautiful purple instead. And purple and teal are the two greatest colors ever designed. So there's that I have been working on. I also, for the Christmas season, I decided that I would join, it started in November, started the Mrs. Claus cookbook from Living on the Rainbow. And I got okay, hold on, how am I going to do this? I'll use my project bag. So I got the cover done, and I started outlining, backstitching around some things, and I liked it around the elves. It's not completely done, but it's mostly done around the elves. No, it is done around the elves. And then I was like, maybe the words need it, and I started going around the words. I kind of don't like it. I've seen it on other people's, and it looked great, but on mine, especially in person, it does not look good. So I think that's why this needle and thread is just hanging out there, because I had it to try to decide. I think I'm gonna take it out and just leave the white. And then I did get all of the you're supposed to outline, do a grid for all the pages. Well, I'm also doing her Book of Potions and the Book of Shadows. And so I went ahead on this giant piece of 32 count Vintage Country Mocha from Zweigart. I went ahead and gridded for all the pages, because why not? They're all the same size. You already got the grid line going. It's easy to do. But then I got started on the very first page, and just was overcome with guilt about not working on the Van Gogh Never Met the Fellowship thing, and so set this aside. I have got all of the designs, all the pages of the recipes are downloaded, and now that I know I can work on it without feeling guilty, I will start that again. I will pick that up here and there. It's hard to feel a little Christmassy when it's February, getting towards Easter. But I love it. I keep seeing people's finishings. I want to have it done before next Christmas, so eventually I will get there. I will get there. It's fine. It's fine. The last thing I worked on is, again, so I finished that Valentine's thing, and I was ready to work on something else. So I was working on that Prairie Schooler Santa, but then I set that aside because I kind of flipped through my whips, and I was like, it's now towards the end of February. Valentine's Day is over. The next holiday is going to be Easter. And I started way back on Jenny's birthday. She wanted to do Stitch on a Bunny for her birthday. Jenny from Stitch and Jenny. Hi, Jenny. And so I had picked a I don't have a whole lot of bunny things, but I had gotten this whole set. I had purchased this from Timea Vintage Tulip Designs at the Stitch Basel in 2023. This is a Hoppy Hollow Easter Village. And there's a whole bunch of things. I think there's 12 in total, maybe even 13 or 14. I kept it to 9 because I'm going to make a 3x3 grid and do another wall hanging like I did of the Hometown Holidays patterns, but for Easter. And so the first one I had started is the Chocolate Bunny Factory for Jenny's birthday, Bunny Sal. And I worked on this for a couple of days and finished it, the first one. Now, obviously, they're all going to go on this large piece of fabric, which again is that same 32 count Zweigart, lightly pale, like a mint green from Zweigart. It's the same one that I'm doing the Cherry Garden on. I really like this fabric. And I've changed a lot of the colors. She just had a different color palette than I wanted. It was a little darker. And I wanted a much more paler, subtle. I love a good pastel. The two greens are Color Fever Floss. Again from Franziska. They're actually silks. Some are DMCs and some are JP and Coats that I got from my mom. So I'm considering this kind of a finish because that first pattern is completely done, even though the whole project is not. I have no designs or desire to finish this by this Easter, but it was fun to finish this first one because it had been sitting around. And maybe if Jenny does another Easter, Stitch on a Bunny for her birthday this year, maybe I'll start the next one. I don't know. We will see. But at least that one is started and finished and is not languishing anymore. That's another one where it's like I think they're super cute and I'd like to get them done, but there's not a rush. Maybe by my big thing is still this one. So I'm happy to finish that little one, but I'm not going to try to finish another bigger project in the same 22 months. I'm not completely insane. I'm only a tiny bit insane. So yeah, that's my stitching, which, like I said, that's pretty good stitching. I'm going to quickly, I had a lot of haul. Oh my gosh, from Kutzenhausen, so much. Zweigart, I had more fabric. I turned it into some project bags. I will add that video. My husband sweetly and erroneously uploaded that video on its own. It was supposed to be an add-on to whenever I finally filmed again. Of the project bags I made with some of that awesome fabric. Another fabric that I bought because they have at the Zweigart, they have like quilting fabric too. So I got these, and they have remnants. So I got this super cute pumpkin Halloweeny fabric. I got these awesome, can you tell what these are better than I can? It took me a minute to realize they were the old-fashioned Singer style sewing machines, but in super, super cool, like floral and leaf design background. And then to coordinate with that is this fabric. Let's see. I need to open this up so you can get a better feel for what's on there. Look at that. Isn't that? Oh, it's upside down. Here, let me show you this direction. So there's buttons and sewing machine and all the mannequins and the sewing table and tiny little measuring tape on there. As a quilter and sewer, I really like that fabric. I will most likely be making myself a project bag out of that. I don't need a project bag, but who's talking about need? All right. And then, of course, the very best thing about getting to shop at the Zweigart factory, aside from the fact that the owner is the kindest, nicest, most friendliest man, and the workers there are so top-notch, and seeing that whole wall of beautiful, beautiful, every fabric they sell and make all lined up. Oh my gosh. Besides all that, they have what's called the Schnäppchen-Ecke. And that is the like bargain corner. And it's like offcuts, things that were discontinued, things that the dye lot was not quite correct. And I've had fun at the Schnäppchen-Ecke. And this time they had a whole table full of fabric. Now this is Aida, and there was like all different colors. And what this is, do you see that gradient? Hold on. Let me pull like this. There, can you see that? There's like a gradient, like a weird color. And on here, it's like a slightly lighter. Apparently, this is it's when they first begin putting the fabric through and dyeing it. The beginning and the end always had, but especially the beginning, always has these kind of mess ups. And for the longest time, they were just chucking them. And then they were like, all these cross stitchers keep coming, and they keep all these like special over dyed fabrics. And they're like, would you guys be interested in this? And they had a pile of it. It was gone by the afternoon. Yes, we would be interested in that. This is another one. So not only was it like got great, like funny, weird stuff on it, but it was cheaper because they were just going to throw it away. And you go, what? But I love it. I can see why they thought nobody would want this and it should just be chucked. But I see lots of potential possibility. This is an Aida 20 count. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 20 count Aida vintage country mocha with a messed up dye lot thing right there. Yes, please. Yes, please. I got this whole giant piece, okay? This is a meter. This is a meter of fabric. And it was, €4 whole. Who can pass up a deal like that? Then I decided to get brave. I kept hearing people talk about 40 count Verdal on all these Flosstubes. I didn't know what that was, but it sounded cool. Everybody talked about how it was so soft. I'm like patting it right now. I'm not feeling up myself. I'm feeling up the fabric. And so I was there at the factory and I was like, you know what, girl, you just get it. So I got, and they're so nice. They cut, this is not quite, I think the minimum cut is they're supposed to do 30 centimeters. And she was like, but if you only want 25, I'm like, no, don't get in trouble. Give me the 30 centimeters. But it's the full width of the fabric. So it's like this huge piece, okay, of 40 count white Verdal. And I see what all the fuss was about. I have a few ideas of what I'm going to stitch on this. And I'm just, it's an even weave, so it's easier to do 1/1, which I'm going to try, but it is soft. Oh, Zweigart, you know what you're doing. Then I got some gingham because I just love the gingham. You have to get the right kind of pattern to go on here so that it doesn't compete, but when you find the right one, it really just looks great. And then I got this because it was in the Schnäppchen-Ecke, I think, and it was just a beautiful color. It's like a dark, midnighty slate, gray, blue, but with gray undertones. Oh, and I'm not even sure of the count. I think it's 32. I think it's 32. But I got a whole meter of it because it's beautiful. I also got some more Color Fever floss. Look at that gorgeous color. Can you see? Look at that. Oh my gosh. She's so good. She's so good. I have more, actually, Color Fever flosses that I bought from her. Look at these fun colors. Oh, Francie, you do such a good job. So I got those as well. Oh, and then at our Stitchy, sorry, I'm stretching here. At our meetup in Venture Tour with all the Swiss stitchers, I asked Francie if she could bring her floss, and she did, her regular assortment, and I went through and found some more. I got another one of these because I love this color. I have several. Then I found this gorgeous blue and this purple and these grays, these two grays, they're the same. But I mean, oh. And then I thought that was going to be a really good skin tone. What exactly I'm going to do with them? Not totally sure. But I just love her floss. And I love her, so I buy it. Oh, yeah. And this brown. I found this great silk brown. I don't know if that color is totally capturing, but oh, the variegation is just perfect. It's so good. So I got that. Oh, and then from 123 Stitch, these I will be working on as well sometime this year, especially now that I have extra time. And they came with all the little extra stuff. For more stand-up, Santa and his wife had to get them. My pilgrims are done, and I needed to have Nick and Mrs. Claus. When we were in Wales, I picked up a Cross Stitcher magazine. There are some beautiful things in here. And it's just fun to look through. And then a friend who lives here, she's not a cross stitcher. I don't know if she was a cross stitcher. I've never seen her cross stitch. I've never heard about her doing cross stitch. And when she knew I did cross stitch, she never was like, we should get together and cross stitch. So I don't know why she has these, but she had, this one is more like a church inspired. There's some statues. But these two ones, let's see, I'm going to try to hide her name. Oh, this is also a churchy one. There's like different patterns in here. But this one is Beatrix Potter, Mrs. Tiggle Wiggle. Isn't that fun? And there's a whole bunch of patterns in here. And then these ones. And then this one as well. I love Beatrix Potter. So the fact that she was like, I'm cleaning out. Do you want these? Yes, please. Yes, please. If anybody, I've tried to look on eBay. Sometimes they are crazy expensive. So if any of you run across a good deal on some Beatrix Potter cross-stitch designs, let me know. Hook a girl up. Okay. I think that is it. My plans going forward are to keep on with this. And I'm going to slowly just kind of grab some of my whips that I have already and work on those throughout the year. And kind of keep working on Mrs. Claus's cookbook. I have a couple more Prairie Schooler Santas I want to get done this year. And yeah, just keep trying to stitch. And mostly looking forward to, I have several meetups the Swiss Stitchers are getting together in Bern, in March. Plus I'm meeting up with a much smaller group of friends in Germany, the weekend before that, with a German stitcher, Lenny from Stitchy Veg. Let's see, and then in May, we're going to meet up in Zweigart again with a bunch of people, German stitchers as well. I'm going to stay the whole weekend this time because I will not have to run off to another trip. So yeah, unfortunately, I will not be able to go to Stitch Basel there's a whole lot of reasons why, and none of it is my choosing. I am not being allowed entry, even though I was one of 2 original starters and founders of Stitch Puzzle. I am now been told that I am not, if I try to show up, I will not be allowed entry. So that kind of sucks, especially because there's a whole bunch of people coming from England and Europe, all over everywhere. So I'm contemplating, I don't want to be a troublemaker, but I'm thinking about going to Basel on that Saturday and maybe that Friday, and try to meet up with people for dinner or lunch or whatever works best for them, so that I can see, like, Mad Morty and Brom are coming. The Brom, David and I have loved these people since their very first video. And the fact that they're going to be an hour from my house and I'm not allowed to go in really breaks my heart. So I'm just going to go to Basel, and I hope that they will be able to break away for an hour and we can meet in person and I can hug them both. They are beautiful souls and I want to spend time with them in person. And yeah, so that's, if any of you are going to Stitch Basel, reach out to me. Like I said, a Friday or Saturday, whatever works best for people. If I have to get a hotel room and lurk around the whole weekend, I might just do that, because I really, really want to see some of these Stitchers. I love you guys. So, and that's the whole point of these Stitchy meetups, is to meet with people. It should be a joyous thing. It should be an everyone welcome thing. Unfortunately, not everyone agrees. So there's that. But hopefully I can be in the area and we can meet up and it can be awesome. So I'm making lemonade out of lemons, people. Yeah. So reach out to me if you are up for a dinner or a lunch, whatever works best and what day works best for you. And I will get myself there. Yeah. And I guess that's it for now. I will try to film in another month. I will film in another month. There we go. I will film in another month. Yeah, thank you for everything. I have a few new followers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those faithful followers who watch my sporadic videos, I appreciate you so much. I even found out some people watch them in German and in English, which, hoot up, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Bye. Hey, everybody. Hi, it's me. I'm alive. I have no idea when you will actually see this video, because I am just filming it quickly before I go out of town to give the recipients the items that I'm going to be showing you. I have a whole video that I filmed over a month ago that I never uploaded. I don't know if I'll tack this on to the end of that or make this a whole its own thing, but whatever. And insert this into a new regular Flosstube that I'll film new and fresh. I don't know. But I wanted to get these on record as having been created by me. So here we go. I have some amazing, awesome, wonderful, stitchy friends that I get to see in real life on a somewhat regular basis. Two of them live in Switzerland, but at least an hour away from me, and 3 of them live in Germany. But we were able to get together in October. Most of us are going to be there in a couple of days, because it's one of their birthdays, and we'll see each other in May. So it's not like all the time, but it's enough. And we got a little chat group, and it's wonderful. So anyway, on our last get-together, one of them, Shauna, mentioned that she was looking for a certain sized bag, because a lot of them that were for sale were either too big or the dimensions were off. And so I was like, Shauna, I'll sew you a bag. And so when I got back, I went through all my fabric. I knew what her favorite color was, so I pulled a bunch of my blues and turquoises, and she picked 2 fabrics, and I made her a bag. And this is that bag. So this is the main fabric, and then this turquoise is the accent fabric that she wanted. She wanted a 14 by 14 square with a vinyl front, and so that's what I gave her. And no handles. I was gonna put handles on, but she didn't want them. So there's that one, and I had a lot of fun with the quilting. I did some free motion quilting around the shapes in the fabric. You can see it better up here on the front. Yeah, this was very fun. I use a mishmash of people's project back tutorials. There is a Crafty Gemini that I follow. I've looked at Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch's video, Erica Arndt, her video, one by Missouri Star Quilt Company. And so how I sew them is kind of a mismatch of all of those. And then when we were in Zweigart, which I have not talked about yet, I found this fabric, and it was too perfect for Shauna. And so I made a surprise bag that she doesn't know is coming with all these cute wine bottles. Isn't that fun? Now, I don't know how she feels about the color red, but the burgundy just went so beautifully with this material that I went ahead and used it. And I basically followed the exact same construction that I did there. These two were great. They went well. The fabric was easy to work with. I was very pleased. Now, and so I will be giving those to another friend, Claire, who lives close to Shauna, because I won't be seeing Shauna this weekend, sadly. She is off partying it up with her husband in Tenerife, so I'm happy for her. That's awesome. But she will not be at the birthday party. The birthday party is for Claire, who is Floss Chronicles, and she hasn't made a video in a while. Which is fine. She's been going, has had a lot of life changes, and so she hasn't been up to filming. But it is her birthday. We're going up tomorrow to Stuttgart, and I wanted to give her a gift. So I talked with my friend Ina, and I was like, what do you think I should do? And she's like, oh, I made this tote bag for a friend. I think Claire would really like that because she could carry around a lot of her stuff. And so she directed me to the pattern, and I made it for her. Now, Claire's favorite color is a nice dark emerald green, so that is the fabric that I used. It's got a, flat bottom thing here, quilted all around. These are sturdy, sturdy straps. And then the inside, it has this is a drawstring thing, so you can close it up and keep your stuff safe, or you can open it up to get access to all your stuff. And then inside, I use this checkered lining, and on this side over here, there is also a pocket. And I made this pocket, okay, I put fusible fleece on one side of this fabric, and then I used the double-sided adhesive that you normally use for applique to fuse the second piece on to each other. And so what that has made is this is a really sturdy pocket. It's not gonna flop. It's nice and on there. So that she can put whatever she wants in there. And one of the things she can put in there is this project bag I made her. I had enough fabric to make one for her as well. I used the rest of the green fabric that I used for this top, so it kind of coordinates. But I will tell you what, sewing this material with this material to make this drawstring top, that was fine. No, I'm flipped over my camera, and I'm getting used to where the camera is. Here we go. So this was fine. This was fine to sew with. It was no problem. Quilting it was also okay. It didn't go great. It was really wrinkly, but whatever. But using it to make the binding, this is also a satiny material, but it is not as satiny. It is not as bad. This was slipping and sliding and just a bear. It was a bear. But It was my own fault for choosing it. But it's finished. It's done. It's really nice. With the zipper there. And I don't know what kind of dimensions she wanted, but I was on a roll, so I just made it 14 inches square, just like the one I did for Shauna. Of course, now if you measured this, it will be mostly 14 inches square. It's only mostly dead. Yeah, because as much as I try to measure accurately, and so things get messed up, right? But anyway, so that will fit inside her little bag. Oh, look, it peeks up a little bit, but that's okay because the drawstring will keep it in there. And so that is Claire's birthday present. So I just wanted to make that little video. Like I said, I have no idea where this will get inserted in what kind of a video, but I have it on record that I made those things, and I will talk to you again soon.